Call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amy, would you do roll call, please?
Absolutely. Commissioner Digital?
Here.
Commissioner Cronin? Here. Commissioner Wire? Commissioner Shaw?
Here.
Mr. Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Is there anything anyone wants to discuss from the consent calendar? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve consent calendar as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no unfinished business, under new business, public hearing upon the application for a retail malt beverage license application for the new Dollar General Store, 30327. Jameson, you want to address that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We have two beverage or alcohol license applications before us today. The first one is for malt beverage. Both are for the new Dollar General being constructed on the west side of town. The malt beverage license application is the basic beer and wine license that any applicants need to apply for before they serve those items. The wine and cider is for wines and ciders outside of South Dakota. The beer, I'm misspeaking today. The retail malt beverage license, the first one here covers South Dakota wines and ciders, and then the second one we're covering is for wines and ciders outside of South Dakota. Otherwise, these are general basic alcohol applications that we need to approve before Dollar General can sell those merchandise.
And this is for them to sell wine and cider that is manufactured outside the United States, outside of South Dakota. They're not selling it outside.
Yeah, that's what the wine and cider one is. That's
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah, I just
Speaking to both.
want to clarify that for those who are listening at home. And that it isn't that they're going to be selling it out across the lines, but. Anyone here want to speak on the public hearing? Seeing none, I'll move into number 6. Approve the 2024-25 retail malt beverage license application for Dollar General Store, 30327.
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And again, number 7 is the public hearing upon the application for the retail wine and cider license application for Dollar General Store, 30327, the new store on the west side of town. Is there anyone here who wants to speak on that? If not, we will move into number 8. Approve the 2025 retail wine and cider license application for Dollar General Store, 30327, the new store on the west side of Madison.
Motion to approve item number 8 in our new business. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
You have to be gun shy, you can second.
I messed it up.
Okay, number 9, first reading of ordinance number 1675, amending the regulations pertaining to peddlers and hawkers. Again, Jameson, I'll ask you to address this one.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is first reading of ordinance 1675. Current city ordinance states that anyone wishing to sell items door to door require a peddler's permit within the city of Madison. However, over the past few years, there have been recent court case rulings that state that this is something that could infringe on free speech and then also on restrictions of interstate commerce. And so the staff put this ordinance together to adjust the ordinance that allows peddlers, anybody looking to be a peddler or a hawker, to be able to do that without the permit coming through in town. This new ordinance does allow some restrictions for what the designated areas are, and otherwise, in general, we believe that there's other areas of city ordinance that allow us to regulate any kind of peddling in town, such as their disorderly conduct or trespassing ordinances if there are any issues. But this is ordinance that we and our city attorney feel should be passed to line up with those court rulings.
Hey, questions or comments?
How many do we get of these a year as permits before?
We'd have a few requested a year. I would say definitely single digits.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
5, 6, probably the most that I can remember in any one year.
I would agree.
And typically in the past in that, they've been college students selling books, you know, to earn money for college or something along that line. Any other questions? If not, do we have a motion on the first reading?
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1675, amending regulations pertaining to peddlers and hawkers.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 10, first reading of ordinance number 1676, amending the Mid-Continent Communications Cable Communications Franchise Ordinance number 1592. And again, Jameson, I'll ask you to address it.
We have several utility providers that operate within the city of Madison, and in order to do that, we have franchise agreements with those companies. Tonight, we have 2 telecommunication companies who are looking to update their cable franchise agreements with us. Every 10 years is when these are set to come up, and we're at that 10-year point where we can make some changes as needed and extend the current agreement. The current agreement was passed in ordinance 1363 a number of years ago. It was also extended with ordinance 1592. That one was in 2017. And so now we are at the point where we're looking to extend it once again with ordinance 1676. The changes that we have made to this ordinance are a few, which are outlined throughout the ordinance. We updated some of the numbering to reflect the recodification that was done a year or so ago. We've also put in a requirement that the cable company needs to make all efforts to move its distribution lines within 30 days of request by the city. This typically has not been an issue with our cable communications companies, but it sometimes has been with some of our other utilities. We're looking to implement similar language in all of the franchise agreements. So we have some teeth to get them to move their lines as needed. It also replaced language that states instead of sending out notices when their cable costs or rates change, that they can simply keep a accessible website with the schedule saying what their rates are, which is in line with the 21st century. And then finally, it replaced language that was related to free service to schools and cities, and instead put a language for free service to schools, free service to cities. And so that allows the city of Madison to have a couple of free locations for us as an organization to utilize, but does not keep the language in there for the schools anymore. That is something that the Mid-Continent folks said needed to be changed based on changes on their end. I think we might have folks on the line from both these companies. And at this point, I'll stand by.
Hey, one of the things and that I want to mention is it was updated in 2017 and that to encourage 5G to be brought in to the city of Madison. And the hardware has been brought in and placed in areas and that around the campus of Dakota State University. But at this point in time and that when we've been up there and Dr. Griffiths has asked the question, all that shows up is 4G. And so the Dakota State University and I would like it addressed in that as to why, you know, we have all the hardware and we gave them the opportunities to put it in at little or no cost to, why it isn't showing up with 5G capabilities. So if there's someone online and that from Mid-Continent that could answer that, it'd be appreciated.
I don't know if anybody's online, but I believe any kind of 5G would be coming through the cell phone providers, AT&T, Verizon, Mid-Continent, Blue Peak would have, this is for cable TV, which wouldn't.
Oh, this is cable TV.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Other questions? Seeing no questions, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the first reading of ordinance number 1676, amending Mid-Continent Communications Cable Communications franchise ordinance number 1592.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 11, first reading of ordinance number 1677, amending Clarity Telecom Cable Communications franchise, ordinance number 1591.
So this is the same subject for Clarity, which is doing business as Blue Peak. Their name has changed over the years. This agreement was originally passed in ordinance number 1362, most recently amended in 1591, and now 1677 extends it again. All the same changes as the Midco one. Since they're providing the same services, we feel it's fair to keep the language in the ordinance and agreements identical. I'll note that the new expiration would be September 14th of 2029, and there's an automatic renewal of another 5 years if nobody wants to terminate at that point. So for all intents and purposes, this would be another 10-year agreement extending to September 14th of 2034.
Okay. Questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve ordinance number 1677. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 12, resolution 2024-40, setting monthly rates and charges for electric service. And Jameson, I'll ask you to address this.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the resolution that increases the rates and charges for electric service in Madison. We've talked about this at least in one previous meeting. And at that meeting, staff received direction to increase the rates flat 9% across all customer classes. This is in line with what our electric rates study, which is expected to be finished in 2025. And this is in line with what they are projecting we're going to need. At that point, once that rate study is finished, there might be adjustments and future rate increases that are in line with keeping each rate class paying their fair share. But at this point, this is 9% across the board. And I think I'll note that staff put together some information and put in an agenda packet that included some rate comparisons across nearby electric providers. This is a question that we commonly get, and for good reason, from customers or from otherwise, that asks how we compare with other utility providers. And so some of the numbers in the agenda packet are provided there. I'd say we're not the highest, we're not the lowest. We're in between, and this rate or this resolution would be the only action needed to approve the rates for 2025. I'll stand by for any questions.
And the other thing I just want to clarify, and that is, this is on the electric, not your total bill. So when you look at the bill that comes in that, you've got water, sewer, garbage, and all those on it. Just it's 9% of the electrical portion of your utility bill. So
Jameson, so is the 9% increase strictly on the kilowatt hour usage?
It's on all the rates. So the electric rates are based on, depending on the class, there's base charges, there's demand charges, and there's usage charges, and this is a flat 9% across all those rate increases.
So like the surcharge or what we're putting on, we're adding 9% onto that as well.
Yeah, the current surcharge is projected to end this year, I believe, and we only have that one surcharge on the electric, and so any increase in that's gonna just help it get paid off slightly sooner, but we know that's gonna be approved very quickly this year. And then that surcharge goes away, but we know we have more projects coming out, which will likely need to use surcharges for.
other questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion?
I'd just like to make one comment, I guess, too, and I know we've had some press releases go out that's talking about future rate increases of multiple values over the next 5 years. And I think it's just prudent that we mention that there is some federal funding grant dollars potentially available for a lot of the capital I shouldn't say a lot, but some of the capital projects that we're looking at doing. And I think for us, we know that this rate increase is necessary, but we don't know what the future is gonna hold. And so hopefully in the future, we can capture some of those grant opportunities to hopefully reduce the burden on our customers, over the next few years anyways, so.
And also some of this is being brought on by increases and changes in that in infrastructure in order to be able to, receive the power and that we get, from WAPA and through East River and so forth. So there's upgrades in that are being done, and some of our equipment that's being replaced is quite old. So, there's, it's more than just, we want to have a 9% increase. The money is being put to use for the benefit of our general public. Any other questions or comments? Okay, if not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-40, setting monthly rates as charges for electric service.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 13, resolution number 2024-41, setting monthly fees for residential garbage and trash service. And again, Jameson, would you address that?
This resolution adjusts the rates on our garbage service. It adds an increase of $2 per cart throughout the city. We have not had any increases in this in quite some time. In 2017, we had a $1 increase on all carts. And then 2018, we had a 50-cent increase on the 65-gallon or the smaller carts. So 2018, 50 cents, that's been 7 years now. So we haven't had any increases, and we're finding that we need some kind of increase just to keep covering the cost of services that we're providing for residents with our garbage service. And this is as simple as that, just adds $2 to our current numbers.
Questions or comments? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2024-41, setting monthly fees for residential garbage and trash service.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 14, approve the sign lease with Stein Sign Display. And Jameson, I'll ask you to address this one.
I didn't get that, Mayor. Could you read that 3 times faster? So recently we acquired some land by a wastewater treatment plant from the LAIC. They had possessed it in the past, hoping to develop it, but they realized that was not something they could do. So the city acquired it from them, and we look forward to using that someday when we need to expand our wastewater plant. Nothing is currently planned there. With that land came 2 signs that are on the property. One is with Stein Sign Display. They have a lease that does go for a couple more years, but since they put on the new digital billboard, if you're driving on Highway 34 there, they wanted to sign a new lease with the city since we're the new owners of that property. And so this lease agreement has 2 terms and then also a renewal period. Term 1 goes from today through the end of the year 2028. And then term 2 would be a 10-year term going from then on, ending in 2038. And then the renewal period is an additional 5 years that the leasee has the option to renew, to continue that. The pricing, those 3 different periods goes from $600 a year to $1,000 a year to $1,500 a year. There's a variety of other long lease agreements, and I went through it thoroughly before we put on the agenda. So if there's any questions on anything else, then I'll stand by for those.
Questions or comments? All right, I've read through it too and don't see any issues with it, so. Do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve this sign lease with Stein Sign Display.
Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 15, December updates.
Okay, for the city updates this month, we've got them up on the screen here. We'll jump to the next slide. You'll notice that our list of active projects has gotten considerably shorter. That's for obvious reasons. We're moving to the winter months, and so a lot of the projects we had on here were construction projects that have been completed and wrapped up. Now that construction season has come to a close. Only one we're crossing off is the Madison Connect under the communication category, which I'll cover at the end of the updates. On our next slide, we see the exciting news, once again, that we are moving. This is our final meeting in these chambers. I know, don't shed a tear. We're all very sad to leave this building. But we are very excited to move to the new location at 503 South Highland, next to our other current city facilities. So the next meeting on December 16th is planned to be in that location. We are moving this next week. We're going to be closed. The city hall offices, I should say, are going to be closed on Monday and Tuesday, the 9th and the 10th. And then we will open up to the public on Wednesday, the 11th at our new location. All services will continue through our current city hall location here today through Friday, the 6th, and then we'll be closed again on that Monday and Tuesday. Any questions?
No, very excited for all of the departments.
Yes. A couple of things that the city staff have been busy doing over the last month. Our Parks Department volunteered at the County Museum to help assemble some new shelvings for the sleighs there at the museum. And then also we had a couple officers who went to Peaceful Pines to participate in the Coffee with the Cop event. For construction projects this month, this list has gotten short, so we're down to one slide. The creek walls, last month we had reported that site 1 had been complete, and we are pleased to say that on site 2, which we had initially thought work would be starting in the spring, the contractor has indicated they're planning on working on that throughout the winter. And so we hope that the project completion will now be in the spring of 25 rather than starting in the spring of 25. And then site 3, since last meeting, has now reached that final completion mark as well. So those repairs, long anticipated, are now moving smoothly. Segment 4 water main loop. This is an SRF project that puts a loop around our industrial park. So it expands service opportunities for the future and then provides redundancy in our water system. That progress is well underway. If you're on Highway 34, seeing the crews work on either side, that's the project there. And we expect that completion to be soon as well. Also ahead of schedule, we thought this might be something that might occur in the spring. At this point, we're looking like the only thing that'll occur in the spring is the seeding to clean up the site. And the final one I mentioned is the Army roof repairs. At this point, the contractor is in the process of mobilizing, and that work will also occur over the next few months. The city admin building, I've already noted that we are looking forward to moving into that very soon. So over the last month, they've completed the final installation of our access controls, our security cameras, and our audiovisual in the building, and the furniture has also been installed, and that's just wrapping up over today and tomorrow, I think the last couple of days. So the only work remaining are any punch list items that are being identified and addressed, and then the final cleaning by the contractor to prepare us for moving in. Some staff have already begun moving some materials over in the building as it's getting ready, and so we will have some departments gradually moving over there this week, but again, that big move will be on Monday and Tuesday. And then we'll just move into events. So from the past events over the last month, we had another City Circle event with the Mayor and Commissioner Shaw. We had some great discussion down at the office. The library, as usual, always has great events going on. They've had a few different dinosaur-themed activities, with one being a doctor from DSU talking to families about a discovery that he's made. And then they've also used the dinosaurs for some publicity and marketing of the Hoopla resources that they now have available for ebooks, audiobooks, and movies. And in the middle, you see a picture from the event of lefse making, where Roger Moose was able to attend and teach people about making lefse. And then the next slide, we're going back to dinosaur theme. This one more kid-friendly. That was a Roar and Explore event where children are able to join, excavate some fossils, and design some dinosaurs of their own. They had a great time with that. Moving to upcoming events, our next City Circle event is planned for December 21st, 2024. The original agenda packet, I'll note, said January 21st. So if you downloaded this last week, notice that we have updated that, and that is live on the website. December 21st. That is a Saturday. We did not get that wrong. We are purposely trying to do an event on the weekend to add some diversity in the times and locations for people to engage with the city. 7:30 to 9:30, and that location is still TBD. And then also on this slide, you'll note that we are planning the inaugural State of the City address. This was an activity identified in a strategic plan, and staff are moving forward with the planning for that. That's something that the mayor will be leading, once we have our new building, and we are planning on doing that in conjunction with a ribbon cutting and an open house for our city administration building. Even though we're moving in here soon, we know that the holidays are going to be upon us, and we want to wait till January when things are a little bit quieter and we can have better availability for folks to attend the event. And then I think the last upcoming event slide is back to the library. They are returning to their Noon Year's Eve party. So this is a kid-friendly event that occurs on December 31st at over the noon hour, 11 to 12:30. And I love their slogan on here. They say crafts, games, pizza, and a sensible bedtime. That's how we party. So that is an event to look forward to for kids and families. They also are having winter kits that are be coming in with 10 days of winter learning on snow-themed fun. And then their trivia nights are continuing. And this week their theme is how many, such as how many hearts does an octopus have? And the answer is 3. So, some fun trivia for you. And next slide, we'll want to note that we have a digital hub that is available. Like many organizations, we have a lot of digital assets from our website to our various social media pages to our new city app mobile device. And so we have a digital hub. So by scanning that QR code, you can get to one page that has all of those digital assets linked right to that. And that also includes our YouTube channel. I forgot to mention that one, where our meeting videos are located. And then finally, Madison Connect, this is something that we are rolling out. We have in the past had a form on the website that allows people to submit concerns or questions, and we are revamping that up and expanding it and going to be marketing that out, calling it Madison Connect. So if people have want to report any issues, requesting information or have questions on anything, they have one form to do that. And then if there's a complaint that they want to make on anything, there's also a form for that to occur. Are there any questions?
No questions?
Okay, thank you.
No, very good, thank you. Do we have any public comment? Okay, seeing no public comment, again, I'll announce that our next city commission meeting will be at 503 South Highland Avenue. It's open to the public on December 11th, 2024. Come into the south parking lot. That will be where you enter the city building. You'll find the elevator and come upstairs to the commission room. And so our next regular meeting will be December 16th, 2024. And again, we do have openings and that on different committees and that within the city and that you can find on the website. So if you have a desire to be involved in city activities and that, please go to our website and check it out. And with that, do we have a motion to adjourn? Okay. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion carries. We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance.